Hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a couple of cards for teachers. CZ Design released some really great products in the Simon Says Stamp July 2026 release. I'll put a link to the release in the description box below the video. And I used a couple of them, plus one that was released previously to make my cards. And yeah, kind of nice getting them made now. And then I'll have them for later when I need them, because for us, end of the school year is generally quite chaotic. So everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps. Keeps lights on, pays the bills, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making these cards. So I'll show the other products that Kathy Zielske released in the July release. And I'll just have it linked as like the #1 words bundle. All of this is available separately. There's also pre-printed sentiments, things like that. But yeah, really fun set. It can work with this stuff, but it can also work on its own. So many options, and you know I love options. So this first little bit, this is the Mod Composition Background Stamp. This was in a previous release, and most likely because other products were delayed. Life. Anyway, I put it just face up on my desk, and I inked it up with SEAFOAM, Positively Saturated ink, and then I was pressing panels of sea glass cardstock into it. This is like the old school way of using background stamps. You know, back when we had them on red rubber on cling foam, having to use them face up because we didn't have stamp positioners. You know, back when we walked to school in barefoot, uphill both ways in the snow. Those of us in card making, you know, we've been there. If you've been here for a long time. Anyway, stamp those backgrounds. And then for the main little images, this is the Best Teacher Ever stamp set. And I have some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound cardstock and putting it in my MISTI. And I chose just some of the images in this set. And I'm going to ink these up and stamp them with Rainbow Splash black ink. I've been back on this kick again. I really like this ink for alcohol marker coloring. If you are familiar with the old Memento Tuxedo black ink, which is what used to be my go-to many years ago. And then I switched over to a Simon Says Stamp ink that has been discontinued. And then I started using this Rainbow Splash black ink, and I have been... It's very similar to the Memento Tuxedo black in terms of just how it stamps and how it works with alcohol markers. I love it. It's been my go-to now for a while. And I did everything twice because sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. It honestly depends on my mood and how much time I have. But when I'm, making a card, sometimes it's nice to just do a couple of them. So it's not full on mass production, like doing like tons and tons of the same design, but doing a couple. And then sometimes you guys see my videos, I'll do a couple, but I might switch things up a little bit between them just to make them a little different. But yeah, it's always nice. And especially teacher cards. I like to have extras in my stash because they come in handy. So this first little bit is real-time coloring, and then this is going to like super speed up. I'm using my OLO markers to color. Any alcohol markers will work. If you're not familiar with OLO markers, I have an entire playlist, dozens and dozens of videos using them. They come with connectors. 1/2 marker, what you see me using right now, is the equivalent of like 2 to 3 other brand alcohol markers in terms of how much ink is in there and how much ink use you get. They do come with connectors, so you can connect them to it and make it a normal sized marker. I do not do that. I use them as my little stublets. It just looks really weird on camera, but I really like being able to see all the colors at once, and I really don't like having 2 colors on one marker. It really bothers me. And I am holding out until the fine nibs come out next year, and then I'll be able to have all my markers full size with one end a brush tip, one end a fine nib. Life will be very good. So there's my little OLO marker spiel. The coloring I kept pretty simple. I just colored. I did like 3 color blends for everything. And yeah, I did not do anything groundbreaking. I used the 0 to kind of clean up the mess because I was messy with my coloring too. I was going outside the lines. I was all over the place. And then Cool Grays for the little label and for the ferrule there on the pencil. I really want to stamp these pencils, like a bunch of them, and do, you know, rainbow colors, all that kind of fun stuff. I know, I need more hours in the day. Anyway, blending all that out. A little more white space on that little label, a little less on the little ferrule. Again, using the 0 to like push the color deeper, create a little more white space. And then, of course, yellows for the pencil. And not follow as, and I say this all the time, but it's true. I don't really follow, especially with images like this, any sort of like light source, you know, where to place the shadows, where to place the lighter areas, things like that. I don't do that on a good day most of the time, unless I'm really like have a specific scene in mind. But it's a good thing to learn. And there's a lot of makers and artists and things like that that will do shadow studies and really explain that. I am not one of those people, but I do encourage learning it. It comes in handy. It is also a way to really amp up your coloring in your scenes, and it's just good things to know. So, yeah, like I say with everything, do as I say, not as I do. But as Dawn Woolslegel has said, and I love that quote I stole from her, is you learn the rules. Like, you learn the rules of coloring. You learn the rules of like the rules of threes and all the different things. You learn them so that you can break them. And I am nothing if not, you know, a rule breaker when it comes to pretty much everything. Anyway, colored in the ruler and the wood portion of the pencil, and then the little stars. I did sort of a kind of my version of like a gold combo with these markers. And then I'm going to go in with my white gel pen. And again, I'm just adding them, little highlights and dots and whatever, wherever. No light source, no worries. And I purposely left off adding any white gel pen to the little stars because those I want to add stickles to at the end. And quite often stickles, glossy accents, things like that can dissolve white gel pen. And you definitely don't want that. So I was thinking a little bit ahead and chose not to add it to the stars. So that I'm not going to risk any smears when the stickles time comes. So when I was done coloring, I die cut them all with the coordinating wafer dies. I also stamped and heat embossed the You Rule sentiment from the set onto some scraps of black cardstock, and then embossed them with white embossing powder, and then die cut them with the coordinating wafer dies when I was die cutting everything else. And then for the background that I stamped at the beginning, I'm going to trim this down and I'm going to round the edges. I couldn't for the life of me find Simon released rounded rectangles wafer dies. I will link to them. They're great. Mine have grown legs and walked off. They're going to be stuck in between two other things. I know they are. So couldn't find them. So I just trimmed down my cardstock, and then I pulled out this old beast, my Crocodile corner chomper. This is one of those sorts of tools that I will never get rid of, because this thing can handle, like, you can literally round corners on like chipboard, leather, etc. Like, this thing's a beast. And this tool, and same with the Crocodile like hole punch, that's same brand, same style of tool. Those are the type of things I will never get rid of. You never know when you need to punch a hole in a like belt or something, you know, things like that. So it came in handy because I couldn't, again, notice the theme here. I couldn't find my regular little, like my little corner rounder punch, my little cute one. But this thing always comes in handy. So that's what I did. So I rounded the corners with that. And then I'm going to wrap these with a little bit of baker's twine. And as always, reverse tweezers for the win. So you start the knot, and then I use the reverse tweezers to pinch that spot and hold it in place. Again, I think a lot of you that watch me consistently know reverse tweezers are a must-have. More than one pair. Because if you only have one pair, you spend more time looking for that one pair. Again, notice a theme. But with the reverse tweezers, multiple pairs. Because things like the baker's twine holding it for the knots, as well as like I show in videos using the reverse tweezers to like pinch things together when I've glued them. You know, multiple little die cut pieces, all that kind of stuff. So they're like little extra pairs of hands. So on the insides of my cards, they are top folding A2 white note cards. So 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And on the insides, I'm stamping sentiments from that same stamp set, the best teacher ever set. And I stamped the big thanks word with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And then the little sub sentiment, I'm going to line that up and I'm going to ink that up and stamp that with the same SEAFOAM ink that I used on the background for the front of the card. So I got that lined up. I'm going to stamp it. And again, this is where, like, when I'm doing more than one, it's just so convenient because, like, do one, remove, ink up, stamp second one. And then if I were doing, 10, I would just repeat, quick and easy. And then once I got the sentiment stamped, I took those stars and lined those up as well. And those I'm going to ink up and stamp with honey ink just to finish it off. Love it. So once I had those stamped, to adhere the panels to the card fronts, I had backed it with Big Mama foam tape. So they got a little bit of lift, a little bit of dimension. And then, of course, I'm going to add splatter. So got these in my splat box, and I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamps Pawsitively Perfect white splatter and then black splatter, which, again, need to be stirred up. All the pigment settles to the bottom. You especially notice it with the white. If you do not stir that up really well, it'll look very, sort of milky, not very white. It's kind of gross. Stir it up real good, and then splatter away. So splattered the white, doing the same thing with the black. The black does the same thing. It's not as noticeable, but pigment does settle to the bottom in this. So stir it up, and then I use my little fan brush, splatter good, let the splatter dry, put the lid on that, especially the black. The black will stain everything. Just be very careful with that stuff. So put the lid on, cleaned everything up, cleaned off my brush, etc. Let all that splatter dry. Once everything was dry, I can start assembling my card fronts. So popped most of these elements up with, again, just I had put Big Mama foam tape on the back of them, glued on my little sentiments, and then, I was trimming off little bits of the Big Mama foam tape so I can kind of pop everything up, give it all a little bit of dimension without creating tons of bulk, and then get my little stars in place. And then I'm also going to add some Pawsitively Dazzling gems in Sunbeam. I can't resist. Add a little bling. Why not? So I get my little stars in place, just like so. And then I can add my gems. I remember when I was filming this, I was fighting with these gems. Sometimes you just have those days, where everything just keeps going. Those are the times usually where it's okay, let's just walk away. It's everything's flipping upside down, or, it's just not working. I was kind of at that point, but I was so close to the end, I just dealt with it. But it's the gems just kept flipping upside down, and it was driving me insane. Anyway, put a few of them onto the card, picked them up with my little embellishment wand, and then glued them into place with the Craft Tacky Glue. And then the stickles. I used sunburst stickles on the little stars and didn't apply it super thick. I've talked about this a lot. You can, with stickles, you can kind of apply a fairly dimensional amount of it, and it will stay in place and it will dry. If you apply it thick, you just need to set aside whatever you apply to and let it dry overnight. It can take quite a bit of time. I rarely do that with stickles. I just don't find the need. I prefer to apply it fairly thin because you'll still get, a little bit of the shine. You'll get the sparkle. It looks great. And if you apply it thin, it dries significantly quicker, which for me is key because I don't have space to set things down to dry, overnight. And also I'm really bad at poking at it. Another tip, squeeze out, if you're applying it thick, squeeze a little bit out on a scrap piece of cardstock at the same time and use that as your tester. Because if you're like me and you like to poke at it. So again, do as I say, not as I do. Anywho, those are my finished cards. These were fun and so good to add to the stash. So as always, links to everything are in the description box below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping, commenting, all the things. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!